Welcome.
Hey guys.
Yeah, cool. All right, everything's plugged in. Sorry, guys. Sorry we're late. Sorry, you
Yeah.
got it.
Oh, okay. Sorry guys, we're late. We went on a food run that took longer because
Yeah.
Portmore is open to the public, or
Oh,
rather,
and the streets are messy.
yeah. So traffic. Can we lower this a little bit more?
Yeah, sure.
And in good fashion, we're just waiting for a few more people to join. And then today's topic is.
Yeah, good. It's good. I got it. You're good. Yeah.
Today's topic is purpose and profit. Can you have it we?
Today's our wild day.
Today's our
Brian Lawrence, bless up. Yeah.
Purpose and profit. Oh, superstar Randy. Oh, see Randy, look
Whatever.
at that. Look at that.
What's up, brother?
He was complaining that nobody notices him, but we all
No,
notice
I
Randy.
didn't say. Don't listen to her. Anyways, sure.
So today we're gonna talk about.
Anyways, yeah.
Today we're gonna. Oh, that's a nice hat.
Thank you. I like it.
Right. So today we're gonna talk about purpose and profit. Can you have it all? How to manage it as a creative, and how to get through it. And this is a really heavy topic, so we tried our best for it to be localized and for it to be something that everyone can easily connect to, whether you're someone who's an entrepreneur, if you work in a business,
Facts.
or if you're someone who's trying to manage it, you just begun, or you're doing it right now.
Yeah.
So in true fashion, we're gonna thank you for the fru. In true
Hey.
fashion, we're going to introduce ourselves. So guys, welcome to the Creative Weekly.
Creative Weekly.
Every week we go live on Friday and we have a new time at 3 p.m.
3 p.m. Mm-hmm.
And my name is Victoria. I'm a digital and content marketer.
And my name is Randy. I'm a cinematographer, DP, and director. Welcome to the Creative Weekly.
That's right. But before we start, Randy, don't we have something we need to do?
Yes, we do have something. We need to announce the giveaway winner for the books. So we've been doing this for the last couple of weeks. We're talking, we had our hiccups and stuff, but we are ready. Everybody entered, and we're about to select the winners live here. Not permitting no problems. We're gonna do a little wheel spin and select the winners right now. And there'll be 2 winners, and each winner will get 2 books. The books are
Show Your Work.
Show Your Work and Damn Good Advice.
For
For
talented people.
For talented people.
Could you hold the phone and
Yes,
I
I
will
may.
spin?
Okay,
So
hold on,
we'll
let's switch the camera
also.
on. Oh no, first.
Oh, awesome. And we'll also re-announce the winners at the end of the show, just in case you guys are joining in now. And we'll reach out to you again.
All right, so here we go, guys. Wait, here we go. Wait, okay, there we go.
Okay. How do I? Oh, click to spin.
All right, and the first winner is. Novels and who's that? Novels and Collections?
Yeah, Novels and Collections.
There you go, Novels.
She actually does book reviews.
Okay, dope. Big up Novels and Collections. Then that was a close call.
Yeah.
And then the second winner is.
Why Drew going to stress out, Oh, wow.
Wait. Goddess Kills. That was a close one.
Oh, that was a close
All
one.
right.
Goddess Kills.
Goddess Kills.
Okay.
Bless up.
Yeah. So Randy, we'll DM these winners. Randy and I will DM these winners with the TCW account,
Can you write
and you
that down
guys
for
can
me?
get your free book.
Goddess Kills and Novel and.
Remember, I have them in
You have
Excel,
them?
you know?
Oh, they okay.
Yeah, I have them in
You
Excel.
remember them?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. I got great.
I
Yeah.
was kind of rooting.
Alright, cool. There you go.
Okay, so
So yes, so we're ready to start. Oh, but first.
first, in true fashion, the wine that we're drinking today. Hi guys, thanks for joining.
We just picked the winners. So
Yes.
some of you guys missed that, but we picked the winners. We'll re-announce them again later.
Yes. Hi, baby mango.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, brother?
He's always here.
Yeah.
So
Biggest
Randy,
fan.
would you like
So
to-
yeah. So this week's wine. One second. Wait for sound. So this week's wine, unlike last week's wine, is by Woodbridge by Robert Mondavi. So it's another Mondavi. I don't know if they're related because the other one was a CK Mondavi that we had 2 weeks ago. And it's a Merlot from California. It's a young wine. It's not a table wine, but I have not actually had this one. Have you had this one?
I have. It's a
Yes.
very nice, simple wine.
Yeah.
It's a good Merlot. It's dry.
Yes.
Yeah,
Alright,
I drink dry wine.
All right. Here we go. Let's
So,
pour. And baby mango friend, you did not win. Goddess Kills and.
Goddess Kells and
And
novels
novel.
and collections
Because
one.
how we go
When?
with this wine thing.
When?
Already every week.
Peer pressures me every week to drink wine.
Oh my God, guys, do not believe her.
Every week to drink wine.
Hi,
Oh, hold on.
Simone.
Hi. Hi guys.
Oh my.
Just balancing it so
Yeah.
Hi. Hi, another one.
Oh, that's my virgin. Pick
Yeah.
up yourself another one.
Hi. All right. So again, guys, the topic is I'm so sorry, baby mango. The topic is purpose and profit. So we're gonna talk about balance and sacrifice.
Yeah. So how? So as we get into the topic, I would like to ask you how. Oh, salute. How do you? When you're talking about purpose and profit, or between purpose or profit, because you're talking about choosing, how do we choose between each? How do you choose essentially between balance and sacrifice? Because one is giving, one is getting, sort of. Let's talk about that.
Okay. When it comes to what I've realized from my own experience as a digital marketer, especially when I started in freelancing,
Yeah.
you really, when you find your niche and this is what I'm good at and this is where it is, when you first start out, you're gonna have to make sacrifice. You're not always gonna get paid jobs for what you really want to do,
Facts.
and you're going to have to just do it because you need to put your skin in the game, you need to build up, and you need to grow, especially if it's a brand name. And it can really hold this for a second.
Yeah. Sorry, intermission, guys. Oh,
Sorry,
can
Randy.
Can I bring up that recording screen?
Of course.
Yeah.
Randy had warned me about this. I did not listen
That's
to
not
Randy.
the other one.
There it
Okay,
is.
perfect.
Yeah.
And bring your mic over because I realize your mic's a little bit too far.
Right here?
Yeah, no, hold it, hold this. I'll give
Holding
to you.
it.
Hi guys, we're doing a little tango, wine glass tango right now.
Oh,
Yeah, but the mic is more important. I forgot to
yes,
turn it
that's
this
true.
way.
That's true.
Yeah,
The
this is
wine
all you.
Okay. But sometimes I like you inside.
Yeah,
the-
they can see me on the other camera though. Them
Okay.
don't need so much of me. Them only want to see you. Sure. Anyways, there you go.
So again, don't drink her, Randy. What?
Cause somebody said don't drink her off. Randy, guys need to able the question. So then he said don't drink her, Randy.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
very true. That's very true.
Facts.
Don't peer pressure me, Randy. I'll
Oh
stick
God,
to
this is so. Listen to me, guys. There's a lot of things that's been going on the
That you
internet
guys
recently.
don't see?
That no, there's a lot of things that have been going on the internet, and I do not want this young lady to come make the people come.
Don't worry, don't worry.
name.
Randy is a very responsible adult.
Sure.
When he's on the live. Uh,
Jesus. Anyways, so
yes.
balance or sacrifice.
Balance or sacrifice. Sorry for the intermediate. So balance or sacrifice. When you're just starting out, you're definitely going to have to sacrifice. You're going to do things that may not align with fully with your niche or with the purpose or with the full goal that you have, but it's a stepping stone to get to where you are. And as you begin to grow, then you'll begin to have balance because you've paid your dues. You've built up your credibility and your professionalism. You can now choose projects based on what you have, and it can also sacrifice and balance at the same time. I know that sounds weird, but you can pick and choose projects that may not be within your purpose and your niche, and you can choose projects that are within your niche even though they may not pay as well. It's just about balancing it and sacrificing. So I would say when you're just starting out, that's the way to go. If you're doing this now as a professional and you're wondering how you should balance it, I would say write down what's important to you, professionally and personally. What brings you joy, what doesn't bring you joy, what you're willing to compromise and what you're not willing to compromise, and let that be your guideline whenever you do anything in your life or with any of your work projects. So that's what I would say about balance and sacrifice. And I would say, well, the next thing I would ask is, when do you know how to choose?
Before you do that, could I ask you one more question?
Sure.
So, all right. So we're talking about purpose and profit in the scope of a business. How
And personally, as a creative.
Personally, because my question was going to be to you, and you can tell me if it's nonsense or not.
Sure.
I was going to say, how do you define your purpose and how do you define your profit? Since we're going to be talking about choosing between those, I think it'd be good for us to kind of identify.
How do you define that?
How do I define my purpose and my profit?
Or how would you define it to somebody who wants to know what it means to them?
For me, if I was to talk about my purpose as a creative or as a business or an individual, it's my drive. It's the why I do what I do. You know,
which can change over
time, and that's completely fine. So whether it is serving the community, whether it is solving a problem, whether it is bringing something new to the market, or whatever the case, that would be my purpose. And purpose and profit can exist, coincide together. Profit is self-explanatory. You know, you're in the business for making profit.
For making money.
So for making money. So profit is going to come natural unless you're a non-profit organization.
Right. And even then, you still need to find ways
revenue
to get revenue.
Yeah.
Or you'll be the charity.
Yeah. So cool. So now that we've got that out of the way
Yeah.
and we've touched on balance and sacrifice, yeah.
Okay, so we spoke on balance and sacrifice in terms of knowing that you're going to have to choose one or the other when you start,
Yeah.
and that as you go along, you should make a list of guidelines, things that you're willing to do, not willing to do, things that bring you joy, things that don't bring you joy,
Facts.
as well as what's your ultimate goal. And this is your guideline for when you deal with any project in life, right? Not just work-wise, but personal-wise, so that it makes sure that you're on track to where you need to go and where you want to go. So my next question is, how do you choose when to choose, and how do you choose what should be sacrificed and what should be balanced, personally and professionally?
All right. So personally and professionally, when do I choose? Okay, there we go. Slight intermission again, guys. Don't plug. Oh yeah, that's the that's the wrong cable you're touching.
Oh snap.
Yeah. So when you have to choose, can you go to the question again? Sorry.
Okay, so I asked, we know about balance and sacrifice.
Yeah.
We know that if we definitely want to align our profit and our purpose, there has to be the balance and there has to be sacrifice, one or the other, or a moment where you have to find an even playing field. So how do you, give me a personal experience where you had to choose, and how did you choose between your profit and your purpose? And also, how did you get a project that had both involved?
Okay. All right. So let me start with the last one. Getting a project that had both involved. So as a company, and as a creative, I like to ensure that some of the work that I do serves the community, you know, to whatever extent. So, for example, I've done work with Equality for All Foundation. I've done work with environmental agencies like JET. I've done independent projects that talked about the cockpit country, and that has been a project that both serves purpose and profit. And ultimately, if my company could do, you're filming the mic.
Oh,
If my-
sorry. I'm also
if
looking at
my-
the comments.
You can
Gabby
film you.
said
They can
hi.
look at you. They can look at me on
Okay.
this other screen.
Okay.
If I'm to choose, ideally, I would love to be able to do projects that serve both a purpose and a profit majorly, because I love to know that at the end of the day, the work that I do supports and advances, some sort of goal that I find valid in, or helps to better our environment or the people that live in it. If for a situation where I had to choose between purpose or profit, that's something that I feel like we do naturally every day. When it comes to business, for example, for me, there are jobs that I do that doesn't necessarily serve my own, creative goals or purposes.
Like what?
But for example,
give me an example.
for example, I'll do like corporate event jobs and corporate interviews. Yeah, I'm making profit, but is it fulfilling if we're talking about purpose? No, it's not completely fulfilling to the way for creatively, if I were to choose it like
But
that.
it doesn't compromise
But it
your
doesn't
core
compromise.
morals.
No, it doesn't compromise my core.
And that's important.
You know, frankly, I would, if we're choosing between purpose and profit, I will never forego my morals for a job. That's
Okay.
just, there are lines that I just don't cross.
Yeah, okay.
So, and I think ultimately, as creatives, freelancers, entrepreneurs, small business, MSME, whatever title you claim, we have to have standards for ourselves. We have to have our mission and our core values. And these things will help to guide the kind of business that we are. I mean, one of the books you're going to talk about later actually talks about stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I feel like for me, that's ultimately what guides me. I've been in a situation where I've had to choose profit over purpose over profit. And it was with a client that had wanted me to do a job for them. They wanted me to photograph some landscapes and images for their company, for their new website that they were doing. And I initially had said to them yes. And it was in my earlier days doing photography. I was just start going out into freelancing fully from after I finished working with Red Stripe and so on, and all the other companies I was at the time. And the scope changed. There's a lot of scope creep. We have an extra guest.
Yeah.
There's a lot of scope creep, and eventually what happened is I gave them back the check. They had given me a check for the deposit.
Yeah.
And I gave them back their check because I said to them that, listen, I have my standards that I work by. These are the standards that I work by, and these are the things that I I need to deliver to you. This is how much they cost, and the scope has changed now, so the cost has to change. And they kept gaslighting me like, you're young, you should just do it. We're gonna link you to promise some more clients. That the old tale.
The old
And I was
tale.
like, no. And the guy eventually got rude with me, and I was like, and he's like, your youth betrays you. And I was like, yo, your age betrays you because you think, whatever I did say. It was fancy email, fancy corporate.
When you write that long email,
per
as
my
per my
last
last email.
Yeah, facts. So so I gave them back their check, and I tell them no, and it was just, to me, I felt better doing that. I never want to be put in a position where I have to do something that goes against my own morals and values, or against my purpose as a creative or an individual, because that's just not the way to live. What about you?
For me, I had to learn. A lot of the times, we'll scroll through Instagram and we'll see this really inspirational quote and be like, oh my God, this is great. But I saw this quote that says that there are certain things that can't afford your peace.
Facts.
Right? There are certain things that can't afford your peace, and it's not worth selling. So even when I was starting out, and we know that, some marketing agencies here in Jamaica are a little bit rougher than others,
Facts.
or a little bit more demanding than others. And when I just started out, I was with a marketing agency that took advantage of, again, my youth. I didn't know any better, but then I knew better after I left. And I got invited to work for a really good marketing company. They were good reputation wise. They had really good clients. But when I was in there, I realized this isn't worth my peace. This isn't worth my peace, and my purpose is to be a really great digital marketer, digital content marketer. Yes, this would help me to get closer, but do I want to be in this environment? Is the paycheck worth me getting here? And I said no, and I freelanced for a bit, and that helped me that choice to choose purpose between profit allowed me to be strong, even though the monthly check would have been really nice.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't have been worth
nice.
the sacrifice.
Yeah.
So I went with the other. And then I found a really nice job at the lab again, which was, I found others before, and then the lab. And it was a really nice middle ground between me having my purpose, me having my profit. And sometimes it taught me, sometimes, again, when you have your moral standards and when there are certain things that aren't worth your peace, you have to be patient. And you have to wait for it. And sometimes you might have to starve for it. But as soon as you get it and you get fed, it's worth it so much more. So that's my experience.
Nice. I have to say, guys, intermission again. Apologies to all our podcast listeners. The Portmore just opened up, so all of the young them there road. And I've heard at least 5 bikes in the last 5 minutes.
Yes.
And they are very loud. So apologies to all the podcast listeners who are hearing this. We'll soon get a big Blue Yeti mic, and we'll be flossing. Well, Blue Yeti, the Creative Weekly will have money.
Also, we are very financially wise, but we're also open to sponsorship.
Wink.
Wine sponsors. Wink, wink.
Sponsors for everything.
Sponsors for everything.
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
Yeah. So yeah. Cool. Yeah, and what would be a cool idea?
What?
If we did this in different locations.
That would be
once Corona. Once Corona is over.
Yeah. And we'd love to have a meet and greet with the people who join us on our live every week and just chill. Man, when outside for the foreigners, when we're allowed to go outside, we'd love to have a meet and greet with you guys, just to talk in person and even, have you guys a part of it in some way.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Okay, sorry.
Just to let you guys
hi,
know,
Shalisha.
Randy is really, really good at saying hi to everybody. I just wave, so I apologize if I haven't shouted out to anybody.
Shirley there. Shirley, welcome, Shirley.
Hi, Bree.
Man, Darnell, big up Darnell. Destiny was here. Okay, Symbiosis is here. Damn, dude's in Italy. How's Italy, bro?
Keep it at
Keep
Emancipation Park.
No, baby,
I'll speak. We're too bougie for Emancipation Park. Okay, we're gonna either go at Ragamuffin Cafe or Uncorked.
Up at St. Andrew.
But
or go downtown.
Or if we go downtown, it's gonna be at the waterfront.
See, baby, my girlfriend I get beer side No, we're gonna keep it on water lane, bro.
Yeah.
We're gonna on water lane
We'll keep it somewhere where everybody can meet and can be good.
on a Sunday.
On us.
But
my
yeah,
God.
oh man. You know, no, we're turning off the AC for better sound, and guys, it is baking.
I mean, is it worth it because the yang
It's
is
not
in
worth
the
it
back?
because the Yang is in the back. AC's on.
Okay, glass is
Sorry.
here. We're gonna turn back on the ACs for our podcast listeners. We apologize. We're really trying our best to give the best feedback. Guys who are on our IG or listening to us on YouTube, if you want to listen to the podcast and support us so that we can keep making more episodes, go ahead, check us out. We're at the Creative Weekly, and you can find us on Spotify,
Yeah.
Google, and Anchor.
Yeah. Well, we're not on Apple yet. I don't know what Apple is being very difficult. So we're working at all. But currently, we're still on Spotify. We're on Anchor, and we're on YouTube.
And we're on YouTube.
Yeah.
So support us, like, share. We really
Yeah.
appreciate the support, guys.
Facts. Yeah. Cool. So, who's it? It's you next. It's me
Yeah,
next?
how to thrive.
How to thrive in purpose.
Yeah.
That's you.
Yeah, how to thrive
Okay.
in purpose.
So how? If since we're talking about purpose and profit, how do you thrive in purpose? How do you choose? How do you talk to me about
It's
that?
weird because I feel like we also touched on it a bit. We both touched on it a bit on how we thrive in purpose.
Yeah.
By having a set of morals.
Yeah.
Whether it's spiritual, physical, mental morals that you keep in mind to
Yeah.
make sure that you're guided towards where you want to go, and you know what to balance and what to sacrifice, and two, knowing what's worth your peace and what's not worth your peace. And you
Yeah.
also talked about thriving in your purpose also means standing up for yourself.
Yeah.
Right, you said that the person was pressuring you because you were young and he was
Yeah.
trying to do this, but the truth is you stood up for yourself and you took a stand because you knew a part of your worth.
Yeah.
And your purpose and your value of yourself go hand in hand in a way, because if you don't value yourself, you're not going to be fully available to your purpose.
Yeah.
And you also, the mentality and the value you have on yourself also affects your profit, because your self-worth is also connected to your net worth.
Yeah, I have a friend of mine said that when in business we don't have business problems, we have personal problems
Yes.
that affect our business.
You've said this 3 times.
Wow, okay.
Guys, remember that.
You don't have business problems, you have personal problems that you need to address. So whether it is your insecurities, whether it's your sense of, whether it is your patience, whether it is your discipline, anything, you need to address them first, especially as a creative or a solopreneur. You really have to address those personal problems because those
Hey,
will bleed
Kamar.
over into how you deal with your business. Baby Mango friend's mind is blown.
Yes.
Kamar, bless up Kamar. I hope you
Hi,
go over so.
Courtney.
Courtney Chen, big top photographer that you know.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
He's actually somebody who recommended my first camera. Yeah, and helped me.
Hey, Courtney,
He
man.
probably doesn't remember, but I remember seeing him at T3 Creperie, and I asked him about like creative stuff, and he
Yeah.
was so like, he's like a top photographer,
Yeah.
but he was so welcoming and approachable.
Yeah.
And that was really good. Like
Yeah.
I was blown away by the experience that
Courtney
I
is
remember.
what I love about Courtney is very consistent. He's
Yeah.
like his work is consistent. Always. But yeah.
Even though for really show off carnival body. That's all I have to
Courtney,
say.
big up yourself. Anyway, there.
So yeah, so we spoke about that, and just
Yeah.
again, your self-esteem, your worth, how you portray yourself out into that world is going to help you to navigate better, because if you don't think you're worthy of your purpose or the profit that you should be paid, then you're going to skew that completely. So work on yourself. If you want to thrive in purpose, you have to work on yourself. Again, what Randy said, repeat what you said again about business.
Yeah, in business you don't have business problems. Usually you have personal problems. And that's so I repeat again. In business you have personal problems usually, and not business problems. So you need to address those personal problems, whether it's discipline, whether it's self-worth, whether it's timeliness, whether it's whatever the case is. It's usually where you need to start, especially as a creative or a solopreneur or a small business owner.
Very true. And Kamar said, Randy, girl them candy.
I mean, I cannot deny that.
No, okay, all right.
I mean, the girls like me, they think I'm sweet. Do you think I'm
That's
sweet?
true. Randy is a really
See,
sweet
there you go,
person.
guys.
Randy's a
Facts,
sweet person.
not fiction.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Not
cool.
fake news. So, Randy, I spoke about how to thrive in purpose.
Yeah.
So, how do you thrive in profit?
Just make all the money, man.
As
And it's-
as a business owner, as also a fellow entrepreneur,
yeah,
as somebody who is very, very financially wise, how do you thrive in profit?
Yeah, sometimes I don't think the financial advisor, but how do I thrive in profit? I feel like it's about making that decision between doing, your parents would used to say when you're younger, when you beg your wants, buy your needs, and that kind of thing. You have to essentially, sometimes for me personally, choose to do some jobs that aren't necessarily, for example, the most fun job or the
Or
most exciting or
glamorous.
glamorous job. It's the job where you have to kind of, pull up your pants, get down in the mud, and just,
Or in the
grind
bushes,
or
in
the
your
bushes
case.
many a times and grind the hours away. You have to just grind. And I've had a bit. I think primarily that's one of the good things about myself as a small business owner and a freelancer too, is that I will do the jobs that don't necessarily serve me creatively or gives me a lot of creative brevity on the project, but it does allow me to make profit. It allows me to meet my targets, cover my bottom line, and ensure that I do have a viable business. So sometimes I think what I do is I call it, what I've been using the last 6 years is like a 70-30 rule. So I say every month, when I have like particular goals or for a period, 3 months or a quarter, I would say 70% of my revenue should come from just actual grind work that I need to do for now, and then the other 30% would be just creative work, that work we do.
Yeah.
So not just the money alone, but like 70% grind work, 30% independent projects and creative work.
So again,
yeah.
you set yourself a guideline
Yeah, guidelines. So
that
a
you
target.
use it personal and professional.
Yes. So you have to really know what it is that you want.
Hi,
and for
Christopher.
yourself.
Hi, Kildare876.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining. And Jason, thanks for joining.
Yeah, so you really have to know what it is that you want. And then from there, and I mean, it's not to say that you can't thrive in profit and have your purposes satisfied at the same time. You can do that. And that's something that I'm trying to move towards now. I'm moving towards doing the projects that serve me because they are there. Find your niche. It's been spoken about for years. Niche is the way to go. Find your own niche and just work in that space and become the expert in that field. So whether it is documentary filmmaking, whether it is marketing, whether it is specifically fine. You for example, you talk to a lot of women. You deal with a lot of women businesses and women entrepreneurs, and that's something. Yesterday you had your Boss Babe seminar.
Yeah, yesterday I had my first webinar.
It'll be
in
last
demand.
week by the time you guys hear this on the podcast.
Yes, by the time you get, it was April 30th, and the next one is May 2nd, and it was in demand, Boss Babe Marketing, where women spoke about how they're thriving through COVID and how you can thrive after COVID.
And it was her first webinar
Yeah.
podcast that she hosted.
That I hosted.
Yeah. So big goals, big ups.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yes. So so let's talk about some companies that we think either balance purpose and or profit. So the first one is Brescia. I see you smiling. Brescia. Randy, don't be upset with her.
Brescia. I'm sorry.
Randy McLaren.
I did not want to murder the name.
I see you try. You
I
tried.
was like Brescia.
Kat
So
CHR is here. Hi, Kat.
hi, Kat. So Brescia is a brand that's been around for, you can say, a good amount of years, almost 5 years or more.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
what they do is they make bags. Right now, niched into school bags and traveling bags. It's Jamaican based. The materials are here in JA, and they use people who are in Jamaica as well as people who have disabilities. And what they do is that they're helping to balance purpose and profit. So when you buy from them, not only are you buying locally, but you're buying to a company that has continually contributed to people who have disabilities or people who are in need. And I think they have mastered purpose and profit very well, from my understanding on the outside.
Yeah.
Right. Very well. And they continue to support Jamaicans. They continue to, if you want to see them, they're always in a very Jamaican event. Again, raising that flag, and the quality that they have, the quality in design and the quality in some of their ads and their social media is good. So they've mastered it. They're really good. And we wanted to pick local brands that to highlight. We could easily have picked like US brands like Tom's or whatever, but we wanted to
Yeah.
pick brands that were here in Jamaica or in the Caribbean that were close to our heart.
Yeah, facts. And I feel like, just like social enterprising and social entrepreneurship is becoming something like a fast growing field
Yeah.
in Jamaica, especially. Because even there's like the YLI Young Leaders at America's initiative that is, reaching out to local entrepreneurs to apply, and, they're giving social entrepreneurs opportunities to connect with different people in different countries. So, it's yeah, purpose and profit. So if we were to talk about, I have one for you. I have one that I would talk about, another company that I really like, and that I am also a ambassador for. So
Oh.
bias.
And what's
But,
that? Plug, shameless plug.
shameless plug.
And what's that?
I would like to mention their 876 Volunteer, and 876 Volunteer is run by Simone Brown, an awesome person. And what they do is what I like about the company is that, especially, and this is from Simone herself, is that they operate literally without money.
Yeah.
They don't take revenue or grants or don't cash from people.
Yeah.
They work on a model of volunteerism. So,
Yeah.
using our social currency to do good. So she's pulled
Hi,
together
Faye. Hi,
a
Ozine.
number. She's pulled together a number of different persons as a core team of ambassadors that can,
Make an
leverage their own
influence.
spaces to
Yeah.
influence that. And I love it so much because it shows that if we come together, even as small communities, we can have such big impacts on the people around us, especially in a time like now where there are a lot of persons who don't have the opportunity to even work because of coronavirus.
Right. Or
So
they have
she's-
to stay home even
and
more.
they have to stay home even more. And
Yeah.
we're not even talking about the people who are working. We're talking about even like the shelters and the
Yeah.
homes for
And she
children.
puts her money where her mouth
And
is.
she puts
She's
her
out
money
there
where-
volunteering.
She out there, and you will
with
see her
or
on her
without
Instagram.
help.
Yeah, on her
Yeah.
Instagram collecting food and doing this.
Yeah.
And I really admire what 876 Volunteer
And that's
does.
more purpose.
And it's definitely a lot of purpose, and it does take a lot of sacrifice. But when you love what you do,
Bree
nothing
Friend
else
says
matters.
yes, 876 volunteer.
Yeah, man.
That's
So
right.
plug. So guys, follow them out. Check them out. They're an amazing company.
And volunteer.
Yeah. And volunteer.
I haven't completed my application, but I will.
Mm-hmm.
And I shall. And I think you guys should too.
Yes.
It's just a process to see how best you can help the organization.
Yeah.
So just go for it. You don't have to do it every day or every week, but once there's a need for it, definitely
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, use your social spaces. Nothing is wrong with giving back and talking about giving back, because it encourages other people to give back too. Because we're like that. We do. Yeah.
Would you like to talk about another brand
Yeah.
that's been doing social-wise? Yeah.
I think it's a favorite of yours. I don't know.
It is.
I feel like it is. Yeah, you know who it is. Tell me about it.
It is. It's Def Can Coffee. I love their coffee. And
And they're amazing.
I'm a tea person and I occasionally drink coffee, right? So I'm like, I like coffee, but I love their coffee. One, Def Can is a organization that makes coffee and sells coffee, and all of their employees are people who are deaf. That's why it's called Def Can Coffee.
Because the deaf can.
Yeah, because the deaf can. So they give opportunities, especially for inner city youth who have this disability, to have a job and a skill that's globally recognized as a barista, right? So
I don't know why it's out of focus.
I don't know. I don't
There
know.
you
It's
go.
out of focus.
Yeah.
So that's a really amazing thing. For you, you may think it's simple, but for them, it's an entirely new opportunity. They can actually be certified, have this credibility, go to a different country, and go to another barista. And it shows that they have options in life.
Yeah.
And when the thing that I like too is that when they are placed in a cafe, there's actually like a little guide that shows you how to ask for things with sign language.
Like saying thank you and
Thank you.
please and so
yes,
on. Yeah.
and please and more and milk. And I think that's really good because that's showing inclusion in a way that feels comfortable, approachable, and you realize that you're gonna buy coffee anyway. Why not buy really good coffee from people who are doing really good stuff?
Yeah. And what I love is that over the years since
Hi, Ashley.
over the years since I've heard about DefCan, what I like is how a lot of businesses have adopted, because they have where coffee deliveries where they go to different businesses and have their coffee setups on the day. And I've seen Digicel, I've seen Ragamuffin, I've seen the cafe at Toyota Coffee House.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of different spaces, including them, and that's very good for our economy because I don't know what the statistics are on how many of deaf versus hearing persons there are, but it's a
Yeah.
You get me? So I really love what they're doing, and their coffee is
Yeah,
good.
so support them. They're at Ragamuffin, as you said,
Toyota Coffee House.
Toyota Coffee House.
Yeah, I've seen them at Digicel too.
Yeah.
And they're about the place. Just follow them on Instagram, and you'll definitely see them.
Yeah, and you'll find them. It's really good coffee, and it's
Yeah.
for a good purpose. So just do that.
Yeah. So earlier. Okay, before we go on to that, I know we didn't say it earlier. But guys, please remember that it's an interactive live.
So if you have questions, ask us in the comment below and we're gonna answer them. So guys, interact with us. It's not just you listening to us talk. Ask me and Randy a question, anything you might have in terms of purpose or profit. And if
business.
something off topic, we'll probably talk about it at the end.
Yeah.
And remember, you can always DM us the questions that you have. We're always open to answering it.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, no matter how long.
Yeah.
Hi Ashley. Hi
Njari.
Njari.
Yeah, Njari Ifenya. Hi Njari. I hope you're good. Long time I don't see you.
Hi.
Yeah, so please feel free to ask us questions. We love when you guys ask questions. It gives us an opportunity to interact with everybody here. But so earlier we talked about a book. I had mentioned it a little bit earlier.
Right.
But we're talking about value and purpose and so on. And the name of that book is The Go-Giver. And I would love for you to talk about it some more. I started reading it and I went through a book summary and I realized it's actually I love what it talks about.
It's a really good book.
So what do you have to say?
In my initial, when I just started reading books and I was getting into it, somebody lent me The Go-Giver. I think it was Jonathan, my friend Jonathan lent me. And a lot of the times we grew up thinking that if you want to be in business, you have to be a go-getter. Right? So you're getting stuff, you're doing this, you're working the late night hours, you don't take shit from people, you're a boss bitch.
You're a shark.
Rah,
Everything.
rah, rah. Yeah. But The Go-Giver is a book that says otherwise, that you can be someone who is empathetic, passionate, someone who gives, and still be a professional, still be a multi-billion-dollar business owner.
Yeah.
It's just having your moral compass, drawing certain lines, knowing when to go, when to push. And the book, technically, this guy who works in this business is wondering, he's like trying to get this position and he's going hardcore. And he realized that there's an employee that's been around there for a long time and he rarely does anything. And he just moves slow. Like everybody move fast paced and he just moves slow. And he's just like, why is this guy still here? So to try and get the position, because another person was coming at it, he goes to him and asks him for advice. And the guy says, go to this guy. I think his name is Pandar. And he goes to Pandar, who's a multi-billionaire.
Yeah.
Who's a real person, FYI, who's worked
Pandar's
with
a chick.
Oprah.
Yeah.
And the author of the book, I don't remember, but type in Go-Giver anywhere and you're gonna see it at all. So type it in and you'll see it. Thank Gabby. You know this guy?
Yeah, hi Gabby. Yes, hi Gabby. Hi
Okay,
Gabby.
that's your Gabby. Hi Gabby.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
so he technically shows him that you have to slow down. You have to remember that, yeah, you can get all of this money, but if you die and if nobody's around there, what's the whole point?
Yeah.
Yes, you always have to have a purpose, but you don't have to sacrifice money to go after your purpose. There's a balance, and the Go-Giver reminds you that you can be someone who is, I'm an empath. You can be an empath, you can be caring, and you can still thrive in a very highly competitive world. It's just maneuvering through it. Just like you can be an introvert and still work in industries that are very, very social. It's just maneuvering through it and thriving. So yeah,
Facts.
I would say, I think I'd like to ask you this question, Randy.
Yeah.
Even though I might have the answer, but I'm interested to see what you have to say, which is, what happens after you're going through your profit and your purpose? How do you what should you do afterwards? And give me some tips on how you've been managing through profit and purpose.
So what do you do afterwards? It is not that question. It
that
is
question.
okay. Cool. Just okay. Cool.
It
Just
is that
making
question.
sure.
I just rephrased
You phrase
it.
it. All right. So
Because it's technically the answer.
yeah. So if it's not working out and if you have different things that are happening,
Nijar says that he agrees with the philosophy.
it's actually a her.
Oh, I'm sorry, she.
Yes.
agrees with the philosophy that as an entrepreneur, right, who has experienced burnout before, I totally agree with that philosophy.
Okay, cool.
Thank you. And oh yes, as again, it's a go giver, guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, as you were saying.
So yeah, so sometimes you
Hi,
just have
Sam.
to, in purpose and profit, you might have to just reevaluate and change direction. I mean, I've been into a place where, for example, I started off in photography many moons ago, and look at this beard, oh boy. So I started off many moons ago, and I was doing photography primarily, and there came a time when I had to pivot. You know, I saw that the industry was changing. For cameras were getting cheaper and cheaper. That's just how technology goes. And in Jamaica, we don't have a. To me, what I don't have. I don't think we have what they call a mature market, which understands the process and the importance of quality imagery and creative concept. We just have.
We just picture.
We just picture for a lot of people. Them just want to say it's sharp and the colors are bright and it's exposed good. And even then, some don't even care about that.
Yeah.
And some don't really want to go into the creative process to do something that is a bit more involved. So as cameras became more ubiquitous, it became a thing where everybody just kind of have a camera and everybody just take picture, and people are like, it drove the cost down.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, that's just how it is. It drove the cost down, so I decided, all right, well, since I saw this trend happening, and hello Nasha,
Hi,
foundation
Nasha.
person. Hi Nasha.
My Randy.
And Nasha, you know how much time we talk about Red Stripe on this platform, and it's the first week you're on. I'm happy you're here.
Hi Nasha.
So
we're also looking for a sponsor.
we're
wink,
also
wink.
looking for a sponsor for, wink wink drinks. Yeah. But anyways, but anything else. So I saw that the industry was changing, and I pivoted to doing primarily video more because first, for purpose, I wanted to do something more challenging. I wanted to feel more fulfilled by the work that I was doing. And it's not that I felt like I was the best photographer there is,
So
but I just
you
felt
took
like,
a look at the industry and
Yeah.
then you reevaluated and decided to pivot.
and I decided to pivot because of that. So and that served not just my own internal purposes, but also my profit. Because with videography jobs, you do make more. It's a challenging job. It's less forgiving than photography, and you really have to kind of dig your heels in to just make things work. So for me, like, that's just it is. You have to evolve. Like, look at us now. With the way the world is right now, a lot of people are inside. People that be thinking about their businesses. You can't go out and do things the same way that you did. So now you have to reevaluate and change direction. What about you? Is there anything you'd like to add?
No, I think you.
Okay,
I think
I
you
think I
covered
nailed it.
everything.
All right,
Reevaluate,
cool.
pivot, change. So as you're
So,
going
yeah.
through your purpose and profit, remember, it changes over time. Your why changes over time. How you
Definitely.
moved your things that you would have never have done or thought that maybe I shouldn't do this, and you did it and you realized it wasn't a bad implication as you thought it was. Your philosophy over time changes or improves. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I know we have one more thing to talk about.
So based on that, based on your purpose, your profit, thriving in both, knowing to reevaluate, what comes afterwards?
Perspective.
Yes.
Is that what comes?
Your
Yeah.
perspective.
I feel like this is like school, and it's like, oh, this is all you, Victoria. Guys, this is all Victoria right now. This is Victoria's show. Yeah, I'm just here. I'm just the filler. She's Victoria's show.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
I'm
Yeah,
not.
true. Sometimes we are fearful to shift and evolve, but it's so necessary.
Yeah,
Yes, it is.
Enjoy facts.
It's very. Guys, if you have any questions or if you want to make statements for yourself, go ahead.
Yeah, and I'd
share.
actually like to ask, but I'll ask that at the end. I'll ask it at the
Okay,
end. Yeah.
so perspective.
So yes, what do you want to say about perspective as relates to purpose and the profit?
Again, we talked about reevaluating. It's also the perspective that you take on things. They change over time.
Yeah.
So maybe you thought you weren't X type of person. Maybe you thought, I'm never going to be early. But you realize because of the projects and the work that you have, you end up being early all the time.
Yeah.
And you've changed that. Or you thought, man, I would never work with this group of people.
Oh, man,
and
man,
boom,
man.
you drop, and now you're working with those people and you're actually doing way better than you did when you weren't working with them.
Yep.
So allow your perspective to change over time. As someone once said that it's the stories that we tell ourselves that define who we are and how we treat other people.
That's a good one.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, I was just thinking maybe the name of this episode should have been purpose, profit, and pivot.
Purpose, profit, and pivot.
The 3 P's, guys.
I think somebody also asked, Randy,
Yeah.
how did you successfully manage the transition from the creative field you were in to the one you're most passionate and interested in?
All right, just to say, I'm definitely passionate and interested in both fields. I'm more, yeah, you know what? He's right. I'm more passionate about that. How did I transition? To be honest and fair, it kind of came naturally because as I started to do, as I got more and more photography jobs and clients and marketing started to demand because, videos on Facebook and Instagram, persons were seeing the metrics and they were seeing that videographic content performed better than photography content. So persons, just marketing agencies and brand managers started to demand more video work. So I saw it as an opportunity to provide a service that was in demand. And naturally, the agency that I was working with and the time I was working at Red Stripe, that is what they demanded. They wanted to know more. They wanted to see more video. They want to see more moving images, and it's just something. So transitioning for me was more so of deciding what it is that I wanted to say no to. That was probably the biggest thing. So I said, all right, well, I want to do more videography.
Going back to your guidelines.
And I'm saying that, these are the standards, these are the things that I want to do, and these are the things that I don't want to do. And to be honest and fair, it's very hard. It's not easy to say no sometimes, especially when you have other things at that age. You have your bills to pay, you're trying to save, you're trying to invest, you're trying to grow, you're trying to do everything. And
again, some things aren't worth your peace.
Yeah.
And sometimes you might have to starve before you get fed.
Yeah. So, sometimes you just say no, kid. Just say no, kids. Say no.
For the right reasons.
For the right reasons.
And I think Fia said climbing the corporate ladder is so overrated and it's not as cracked up as people make it out to be. Right now, I'm going back to the drawing board of my life and I needed this video. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome, Fia.
Fia.
This is purpose, fulfilling. That is the purpose of the Creative
This is
Weekly,
the whole purpose.
to help people so that, oh my God. So before we close, I wanted to reach out to the audience that's here. We have 3 weeks left in this season. We have some topics listed, but I'd love to hear from you guys.
What you want to see from us.
What is it that you want to see and hear from us? Are there any topics that we haven't covered as yet that you'd like us to talk about? And you could, if you want to see what we've talked about already, you can jump on our Instagram, on our YouTube, or on our podcast at anchor.fm, on our YouTube channel, The Creative Weekly, and check out the topics.
What do you guys want to see? Also,
I will do a poll.
Also, remember that we have a book club. Right, so if you want to join the book club, go to The Creative Weekly on Instagram, click the link, join it. We're going to send out our first newsletter on a book review. So it's a book review, a little bit of wine, a few tips, and some tools that you can use. So anything
One of my all-time favorite books, and this book was published in 1965.
And if you want to find out what that book is and what type of tips and tools Randy had for you for that book, join the newsletter and find out. We're not going to tell you here. You have to join it.
I've mentioned this book a couple times. Yeah.
So every week we're gonna give you guys a review, and we're also gonna give you some tips and tools.
Every week, or was it every month?
Every month?
Yeah,
every month.
Yeah.
Every month we're gonna email you guys some tips, tools, books, resources. It's a whole shebang, so you're supplied for the entire month. And again, DM us. We'll hold a poll, a Q&A sticker on the Creative Weekly and on our personal pages so that you guys can tell us what's the next episode you want to see us do. What do you want to see us talk about?
Yeah.
How much of Randy's bear tutorial do you want us to share?
I promise I'll have the bear tutorial ready for next week. I just had a lot of work to do. And we have a new intro for the Creative Weekly.
We do.
Guys. We have a new intro. We're going to post it. We should post it on Instagram.
So
we're going to post it on the Instagram after the end of this live. But we have a new intro and I'm very proud of it. I spent 6-7 hours editing it. I'm really happy. And Victoria wrote it and we recorded it and it's amazing.
Oh, that's very true.
I'm listening to it and it doesn't even sound like my podcast. It sounds like somebody else's.
It sounds really great. Also, baby mango beards are not overrated.
Listen to me. What I said is in a pattern. We don't support bad man in here, so here. We don't support them bad man. So just stop bad man. My beard. If you know how far me I come from and how long we take to grow that little beard here, don't over my beard. My beard is very well rated. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, so as you were saying, I digress.
So
Yeah. So we're about time.
yeah. So
Yeah,
guys,
about
we're
time.
closing up. Also, just to reiterate, Goddess two
Goddess
people.
Kills.
Goddess Kills and
Oh, nice.
Noveland Collections won the book giveaway. Every month we'll have a book giveaway, guys. So if you want to be a part of it,
Please leave it. It's fine. Yeah.
if you want to be a part of it, just let us know. So we're gonna message the giveaway winners. And guys, if you have any questions or anything, DM us, message us, and follow The Creative Weekly. We're on YouTube,
Instagram,
Twitter,
Anchor.fm,
Anchor.fm,
Spotify.
Spotify.
And we'll soon be on Google and Apple and all the other popular podcast platforms once I figure out what's going on with Anchor. Yeah.
Right. So thank you guys so much. We appreciate it.
Yeah, and guys, we're about to sign out. But before, do you guys have any more questions? And look at Victoria messing up the camera like me.
I was just it's one time random.
No, but I'm gonna call it out
How much
because I'm
time
a
we do
Capricorn,
it?
and that's what
How
Capricorns
much
do.
time Ram to do it?
Every week. Every time I'm on the live, I do it from the first one to the 8th one.
Who else will
but
you
yeah.
guys be bringing on the podcast?
That's next season.
Next season.
Next
Now,
season.
because it's Corona, we definitely can't bring another person because we are practicing social distancing. Randy and I are together because in our hosting sitting
We have our
side
own
by
local
side,
circle, yeah.
because we've limited the amount of people that we see for the past 2-3 months. But next season we'll definitely have a lot of people on. If you guys are interested, just DM us and let us know, and we'll book a slot for you guys. So thank you guys for joining the Creative Weekly. We talked about purpose and profits.
Yep.
We talked about the Go Giver, that's the book. We've announced the giveaway winners, and we're so grateful that you guys joined us today.
We have a book club. We have a new intro. We have a lot of things going on, guys. Please follow us, interact. We have a lot to give away. Every month we'll be having a book giveaway. So yeah, just keep in touch, guys, and let us know what it is that you want to hear. And we have lots more to come. So yeah. 1, 2, 3.
2, 3.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah. 3.
All right, guys. Bye.
Peace.
Are you a creative professional, entrepreneur, or millennial trying to get your life together?
Introducing The Creative Weekly, a podcast made for creatives by creatives.
Not FDA approved, but good enough.
Side effects include laughing, learning, and if left untreated, can lead to success.
See a doctor right away if you experience a new business idea, professional and personal growth,
Or internal bleeding.
it's time to get your shit together.
And be creative.
Try the Creative Weekly podcast today.